What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series, Ninja Force, Cobra, Slice, and Dice. So very cool to get this 2-pack of Slice and Dice here, just two ninjas that sort of work together for Cobra, so really nice for them. Come with a bunch of weapon accessories. If we spin around here on the back, we can see their design more there posed up with the weapon. So we get a character with a lot of red and then one with a lot of purple as well, with their different designs, with Slice having specializing with like a scorpion attack and Dice having one with a dragon, so two different like animal designs going into those as well. So pretty cool overall for this 2-pack. So I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. And let's start off with Slice, who is a renegade ninja from the Arashikage clan that developed his own sword technique based off scorpions. He's an expert with edged weapons, small guns, and explosive, and is often seen working alongside Dice. So he looks cool here, nice with the red gi sort of outfit. Now this is pretty cool and kind of nostalgic to me, just because my brother had a figure of Slice back when I was a kid. So always like when I'd play around with figures and like G.I. Joes, he'd always be one. It always reminded me of Ladybug, because back then he wore the red gi and it had black dots all over it like a ladybug. So cool to have Slice here, and kind of cool, bringing back those memories of playing with that. It looks pretty good there overall though. So I love how he's got like the complete face covering. Reminds me a lot of like the mask that they use for like fencing and stuff, just with the all silver, but then like the sort of lining design and stuff to it. That's just what it reminds me of, with the all black helmet there. Has some ties going down there around his back as well. Then like I said, the red gi, but I love how it's got like the black like faded into it. So it goes from red into the black here in the midsection, then red down the legs with some black padding there all the way to the feet. So he's got the tabby shoes on there with the shin guards coming up and everything. Looks pretty good. Then nice belt around the waist with the nice like red cord wrapped around it there and stuff. Looks pretty nice. The armor up on the shoulders and forearms just all looks pretty decent there for him. So pretty nice design overall. But moon-wise, the head will twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far. So not the best movements, but not horrible. Shoulders will come up, of course, get some of the armor padding there is in the way, but come up to 90 with the butterfly back and forth and rotate around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far. Then get the wrist that'll twist all the way around and hinge up and down here. Then we go to the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back, so nice crunching there, and then twist all the way around at the waist. The hips will come up towards 90 and out to the side, kind of stiff there, but yeah, I can go out to the side there with the thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to the back, almost kicking himself in the butt. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements overall for him. Pretty standard for the G.I. Joes. With the ninjas, I feel they should have more movements or better movements and everything. And of course, having not as much like bulky gear and stuff should have pretty good range overall. But then we can go to all the accessories that he comes with. Now, there are some accessories you can like pick and choose between the different characters who you want to give them to. So there is always that option. I think we're just kind of give each their own, and then of course show you the things that are sort of separate there. So additionally, he comes with a head, so we get this nice cool head design that's got more of that sort of scorpion look to it to me. So that's pretty cool with his news, based off scorpion. That's what that reminds me of. So let's switch that out. So there's that face mask, and that looks pretty cool. Nice design. It reminds me a lot of like the mask guys from 300. So that's pretty cool. Then he comes with some additional hands. So he has 2 grip hands on with trigger fingers, even though it doesn't come with guns, but has the trigger finger designs. So we get a set of flat palm hands. So we get the flat hands there, as well as the fist hands. So there we get a set of fists to go along as well. But of course, since he comes with a bunch of weapons, that's what we're gonna use for most. He does come with a back piece, so like a holder here that goes into his back for his sword. So once we get to the swords, we can do that. I'm not sure if I guess it should go down like this, because I'm not sure if it goes up or down, since it just pegs in, if it goes up like that or down, but down would make more sense with the spacing of it and everything. So again, we get that. So once we get to his swords, we could put that in him. Then he also comes, at least again, another accessory we could put for either one, but we're just gonna throw him in with him. But we get this sort of strap that goes around him with some kunai on it, so little throwing knives and stuff. I assume we just wrap this around him. So there, just have it wrapped around his chest just like that. So you can just have that sort of stored on there. Again, you could use that for either one technically. But then moving over to weapons, first we get is a little sai, so a little itty bitty tiny sai. And of course, they're kind of weird designs. They're mostly molded in this all like gray plastic, which is kind of dull and boring and stuff, but overall works fine with the little grip there. Of course, that seems pretty tiny. I assume, yeah, he'll still be able to hold on to it, but yeah, it just looks so tiny in his hand. Now he does have a little sheath here. I assume it's for this, because I don't know what else would go into it, but can maybe store that in the little sheet there on his forearm there. So just store that away. Then he comes with, of course, a bunch of other different weapons. We get 2 of pretty much everything else. So first off, we get a set of these knives, or I guess they're called knives. They're like long knives, but look pretty nice with that. So you just get this set of long knives. We get a set of Katars. I always can never remember how to spell them, but Katars. But you put these in his hands and have these two like nice fist designs. I may try this just to see what it looks like. So there he is with the two Katars, and that looks pretty cool. Nice design for that overall, but like I said, not the weapons I want to give him. That would be more of his signature weapons of the hook swords. We have the sword designs that have the little hooks on the end, look pretty cool. Nice like little blade pieces attached there as well down by the hilt, so looks pretty cool. Of course, these are the swords we can attach into his back, so it's nice that they are sort of open, so you can kind of just slide them down in there. Of course, his stupid head tail are just getting all in the way. They're way too long and stuff, but you can sort of, attach these into the back here of his thing, have them stored there on the back. But let's go and put him in his hand. And their Slice has the two swords as well, so it looks pretty cool with his nice hook swords. Like I said, is kind of like signature weapons there. So that looks pretty cool overall. Now, reading from the Hasbro side, because obviously it comes with a bunch of accessories, trying to figure out what goes where, they did also have that he's labeled, but obviously we can use these with either character, that he also comes with this hat and like robe piece or, sort of cape piece there that we can try and put on him as well. I don't really know like which character should really go on, like which one would look better and stuff, but let's go and try and put him on him and see what it looks like. So there's Slice with that, and I cannot get the hat to stay on him, so I'm gonna guess it's not, but I think it has to do with the robe, because trying to get has the piece that goes under their chin and stuff that I can't really get to do because of the like robe piece around, so I'm not really sure. Like I said though, in the description on the Hasbro site it was labeled with him, but also in the pictures it had him on both characters, so you can put him on either one. So yeah, I think that looks a little too crazy and ridiculous, so probably won't be putting it on Slice, and I just switched Slice back to his normal head since, like I said, that's what the original toy had that I remember. So I prefer him to have more of that design there, because that's the design that I like the most. But overall, pretty cool for Slice here. Like I said, just nice having like this nostalgic memories of playing with the old toy back in the day, and looks pretty good for this updated Classified series version. And in this pack, we also get Dice, which is formerly a Cobra Knight Creeper that was kicked out for being too evil. He specializes in chokeholds, pressure points, snares, traps, blunt instruments, and eye gouging. His weapon of choice is his bow staff that he can manipulate with blinding speed and bone-crushing power, and he operates as the partner of Slice. So he looks pretty cool here with his overall design. Love like the purple colors and everything. Love like his mask design, so he's more of a bald-headed guy. We'll get his unmasked head, but looks good with like the purple mask here design. Love like the teeth. He has a lot to do with like a dragon. He has like a dragon mask and stuff, so part of his like whatever sort of specialty relates to dragons, so that's pretty cool with like the like teeth design with the fangs and stuff. I love how it has like the lines there, so you still see like his lower face and stuff through it, and you can see some of his eyes there. Of course, the horns coming up look pretty cool. Still have like the ties here in the back hanging around, so I'll have to deal with those, but looks just good overall for his mask design. Then we get his purple outfit, so purple here up on like his chest and going down the legs and stuff, so like almost like gi design. Love how we get like the pieces coming off to the side, so nice, almost like tassel sort of designs there. Of course, all sorts of straps there around his chest holding different weapons and accessories there. Armor on his right arm there, so nice armor pad on the bicep and then forearm there. Then we get a belt around the waist with some pockets, also a nice design with nice silver and stuff there, dangly bits hanging down to over the pants. And then we get the shin guards there on the feet as well. And then like love how the toes like come to a point there at the end of the shoe, so pretty nice design overall here for Dice. But Moonwise, his head will twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far, so it seems a little bit better. Moon's, of course, looks like his neck's all twisted around, but still not the best, just decent. Shoulders will come up to 90 though, and have a butterfly just a little bit back and forth, but pretty much doesn't do anything, but there is the joint in there, and of course we'll rotate around, but it's rotating around within that shoulder piece there. Then we get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, which is nice. Wrist twist all the way around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so crunch forward, crunch back there, so nice crunching back and forth, and of course also sort of twist around at the waist. Hips will come up to 90 and out to the side, close to doing the splits there with the drop down hips. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint that bends up that far to back. Yeah, kicking himself in the butt, so nice range there. Shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty decent movements overall. Not too dissimilar from Slice, but overall works out pretty good. But moving to his accessories, first we get his unmasked head. So there's the bald head, nice thick eyebrows. Love how he has a scar like going across his face as well. So let's switch that out. So there's what he looks like there. Kind of weird with the just plain head. It just seems like the outfit's a little too high up there around his neck and stuff. So makes him look a little awkward. But like I said, he may look better though if we try and put that robe and hat on him, or cloak. I think they labeled it as a robe, so that's why I keep saying it. But the hat or whatever. So there, it just seems like it comes up way too far. I don't know how to get this to sit on his head either. Yeah, it's not really sitting on his head. Like I said, may have to do something with the strap, like get it down under him, and then maybe try and get this all worked together so it's down under the robe or cloak piece, whatever, to get it to sit. Because yeah, just not really sitting on there too well. And then you can also use this as a shield, so you can get their hand through there and hold on to that and use this as a shield as well, which I think would be pretty cool. He has some flat palm hands, so it's not really gonna work out the best here, but you know, try and get their hand through it like that to hold on to it and use it as a shield, so that'd be cool, and has nice spikes there on the end of it. So you just do different stuff with that. So again, they included this hat and like cloak piece and stuff, but yeah, overall don't think it works too good. I left his head off there to put on his other head that he comes with, which has the dragon mask. So you can see underneath it kind of has a very similar design to what he had already, just with this dragon mask over the top, which looks good with the light blue and red color. So that looks awesome. So let's put that on. So there's that design, which I don't know if I like too much or not. Like, I like the overall design of the mask, but I just feel with like his purple body, the red and blue doesn't like look too good together. So I think probably just his normal original head once again is probably what I'll stick with. But then we get some accessories for him. So we get a set of fist hands, since like I said, he's got the flat hands there already. So we get the set of fists as well as the grip hands with the trigger fingers once again, which will switch out for his weapons. And with those grip hands, we can give him some weapons. So first he comes with 2 battle axes. So nice design with the big axe there. Almost looks like a fish. Of course, it's a dragon. You can see the design on there, but just the way they're shaped reminds me of fish. So we get those. We'll put these in his hand. So there I just try to pose him up a little with those 2 axes. So just to show you what they look like there. But as I mentioned from his profile, he uses a bow staff. So a bow staff here that has a nice big blade on the end, kind of like a Nagata. So it looks pretty good with a nice blade there on the end. So let's give him this. So there he is with the bow staff in his hand. So that looks pretty cool. So nice design overall there for Dice. Looks pretty awesome with his purple outfit. And there we got Slice and Dice together. Very cool to get this 2-pack, since they do belong together, you know, work together in the G.I. Joe storylines. Nice to get them in a 2-pack together with our Slice and Dice. Both look really awesome with their ninja-inspired outfit designs. Now, of course, from the original toys, they were introduced, I guess our pack had it as well, a part of Ninja Force. So we can bring in some of our other ninja characters that would be a part of Ninja Force. And there's some of our other Ninja Force characters. So we got Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, as well as Nunchuck and Jinx. So very cool to add Slice and Dice, a part of Ninja Force, into our classified series collection. So let me know what you thought of Slice and Dice down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that like and hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.